Hi, I'm Brandy Berger. I'm the wildlife technician at the Nayanquing Point Wildlife Area, located at 1570 Tower Beach Road. Nayanquing Point is situated between Linwood and Pinconning. We're about 3 miles north of Linwood and 6 miles south of Pinconning on the western shore of Saginaw Bay. In 1943, the Department of Conservation's Game Division recognized a need for wetlands along Saginaw Bay. We purchased 5 sub-agricultural wetland areas. The land was dedicated with the name Nayanquing, which means end of the woods in Chippewa Indian. We have 4 diked agricultural units, and then the remainder is into marsh. And the acreage total is 1,500. We have 912 acres into diked farmland, which consists of corn and buckwheat. And then we have 700 acres into marsh units, which are divided between refuge and huntable areas. And then we have 9 coastal acres along Saginaw Bay that are open to hunting. So as a newcomer to Nayanquing Point Wildlife Area, I would suggest that you attend an afternoon hunt. We have 2 drawings a day, one at 5:30 and one at 11. For the registration period for the 11 o'clock draw, you would show up at 10. We would check your licenses. We'd give you a brief description of the area and what the water conditions are and what the corn cover is for each area, and also tell you a little bit about the marsh units and how you can access them. Then I would refer a newcomer to the zones picked in the draw so that they could reference the areas that were picked first in the draw and see where people are going. Then they would be a little bit more familiar with the pick come 11 o'clock for the draw. For a newcomer, the afternoon hunt allows you to be able to see where you're going, see where the access points are, see where you are once you're set up. At the Nayanquing Point Wildlife Area, all the cropped areas are very accessible. We have walk-in areas and boating launches, so you can be able to see where those points would be before you're heading out to your hunt. When you arrive at Nayanquing Point, you access the building in the center of the 3 pole barns. That's where the check station is. Drawings are held 7 days a week, at 5:30 a.m. for the morning hunt and 11 a.m. for the afternoon hunt. The registration process begins an hour before each draw, 4:30 to 5:30 a.m. and 10 to 11 a.m. At the Nayanquing Point Wildlife Area, the maximum party size is 4. You can register at the draw for a party size between 2 and 4. Individual hunters can choose to register in the draw. However, they're only allowed to take areas 1 through 6 as a single. As an individual, you could also pass in the draw and take a party zone after all the parties have picked. You're required to have a small game, a Michigan waterfowl hunting, a federal duck stamp, and then the purchase of a $4 daily or a $13 annual. $4 daily and the $13 annual use that you purchase goes directly back to the Managed Waterfowl Areas for maintenance and habitat management. If you need any of those licenses, you can purchase them here at the Nayanquing Point Wildlife Area. Once all members of your group are here to register for the hunt, a person is designated as a party leader. That person is responsible for making sure the permit gets back. All of the other members of the party must fill out the card completely. Each party is issued a unique number. That will be your number that you listen for in the random draw. Once the draw is conducted and you hear your number, you come up to the counter and pick a spot. We have 26 flooded cropped areas that are available in the draw, and we also have 30 individual marsh units. If you're not able to make it here at the designated draw time, you can choose a leftover up until 10 o'clock in the morning and 1 o'clock in the afternoon. At the Nayanquing Point Wildlife Area, the morning hunt begins at the legal shooting time and ends at 12 noon. In the afternoon, hunters can go in at 12 noon but can't shoot until 1 o'clock, and their hunt ends at legal shooting time. There are designated entrances to the field. Each field has its own entrance and own boat launch. For more information, you can consult the area map or you can ask one of the Department of Natural Resources employees. At Nayanquing Point, small boats, canoes, or kayaks or foot access are ideal. We have a whiteboard that lists all the hunting conditions and as far as cover and water, and they're updated as they change. With low water conditions, large boats and outboard motors are harder to maneuver. Jet sleds are becoming more abundant as hunters are pulling in most of their gear. At the Nayanquing Point Wildlife Area, the typical gear a hunter would normally bring is a couple dozen decoys and a marsh seat, along with calls and a spinning wing decoy. The primary species harvested at Nayanquing Point are mallards, followed by green-winged teal, widgeon. We do harvest a few geese and occasional divers. Each hunter is allowed 25 shells, non-toxic shot only, and Triple B is the largest size shot allowed. Retriever dogs are allowed and recommended. We do have refuges that are seasonal refuges that are posted no entry from September 1 to January 1. We also have a wildlife refuge that's no general entry all year long. If you are unsuccessful in the draw or decide there's nowhere you'd like to go at the Nayanquing Point Wildlife Area, there's just a short driving distance north to the Wigwam Bay Wildlife Area, and to the south there's Crow Island State Game Area that also provide excellent waterfowl hunting. The Nayanquing Point Wildlife Area, we do have special youth hunting opportunities. For more information about youth hunting opportunity, you can check the Michigan Waterfowl Guide or call the office. Each week, the Nayanquing Point Wildlife staff conduct a waterfowl survey of the refuge to indicate how many birds are using the area. This information is posted weekly on the DNR website. The Nayanquing Point Wildlife Area is extremely popular to birdwatching due to its proximity to Saginaw Bay and its unique habitat type. We have a 5-acre shorebird pool that was constructed in 1999 with Saginaw Bay Watershed Initiative funds that allows for bird watchers to view birds throughout the migration from the observation tower. At the Nayanquing Point Wildlife Area, we are very fortunate to have a multitude of partners that help in the maintenance and habitat management. Among them, the Michigan Duck Hunters Association, Ducks Unlimited, Pheasants Forever, and the National Wild Turkey Federation. For more information about the Nayanquing Point Wildlife Area, you can visit the DNR website or you can call 989-697-5101. Thank you for having interest in the Nayanquing Point Wildlife Area, and I hope to see you soon.